All right, good morning. It's Cowboy. It is 8:30 a.m. EST, and it's Monday morning, so we are pre-market open. So, of course, things are just moving slowly in the market because that's just how things are before the market opens. So, that said, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the week ahead, the events that are coming through. I do have some videos scheduled to come out a little bit later here in an hour and a half. So right as show is done, I've got some videos from over the weekend that I scheduled to come out on the YouTube channel. One of them is an expectancy video, and expectancy is a calculation that we use in trading, and that calculation is to help us determine how much we're going to make on the average trade. And I talked about that formula a few days ago, and I did leave a component out, so I needed to issue a correction, and the correction is issued. Here we got the gorilla in the house. He just showed up. What's up, V?
Namaste, my friends. Namaste. It is a wonderful day today. Thank you for joining us at Algo Factory.
Namaste, namasko.
Yes, yes. So without further ado, Cowboy, flash your QR screen. You have it on. Very good.
Flashings.
Oh my God, you're such a flasher, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, I left the QR code up in the corner as well, just for most of the show. You can always zap that if you want to, but here it is right there.
Perfect, folks. Scan that, join us, and let's make some money. It's that simple. It's that simple. Join us and let us teach you how to make money. That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's all up to your it's really all up to your own level of effort, whether or not you're going to be successful. Nothing is guaranteed, but the people who are successful in the trading game have a couple of things. One of them they have is tenacity. So they're going to stick to it, right? And the other one they have is discipline, which is going to also feed into tenacity. Those are kissing cousins. So basically you're going to need to be willing to study, I would say minimum an hour a day, at least 5 days a week, if you want to make any headway over time. Because trading is something that no one's going to hand to you. We've talked about this before. But with trading, oops, hold on, I hit the wrong button there. With trading, look, you can always find some guru, right? Like, oh, well, I'm going to use this guy's system, and he's been doing it correctly he's been trading successfully for 15 years, and his system must work. And there's a couple issues with that. The biggest issue, we've talked about this many times. In fact, it's on Cowboy's Secret, which is one of the videos that I highlight on the YouTube channel quite often, is that you didn't build that system yourself. And psychologically, trading and the trading psychology is the biggest part of the game. And so if you want to win at trading, it's going to probably need to be a system that you designed yourself, like almost always. There are exceptions to that rule. Nothing is always true, but that's one that I have found to be true, which is why we created Algo Factory, so that you can actually build your own system. If you don't know how to trade, if you know nothing about trading, you can come in and we'll give you those basics. We'll point you in the right direction. We'll answer questions. We have a 24-hour Telegram that you can go and talk in and ask us questions in. And here's the thing about it is that, I'm pretty crazy. I'm up at some pretty insane hours. So you probably could get your question answered pretty quickly, even if you're, maybe across the pond or down under or something. So all that said, it being Monday morning, I figured we would just take a quick look at what's coming up in the markets this week. Today is going to be quiet from a news standpoint. It doesn't mean that trading is going to be quiet. Mondays tend to pop in the morning sometimes. And so what does that mean? Look, the market open happens at 9:30 a.m. EST. Okay. So a lot of things happened over the weekend sometimes. And if that's the case, equities markets haven't been really tradable. I mean, they do have aftermarket hours. They have, you can trade a little earlier than the market open, but there's not a lot of liquidity during those times. I mean, as soon as the market opens and everybody floods in, if the weekend was eventful, then a lot of times the market will make a pretty big move. And as the market in the equities market, the stock market makes a big move, the rest of the markets that were already open, like Forex and crypto, a lot of times they will also make a move because markets are all linked together just by the nature of what they are. So we do have that coming up in an hour. And then once everything kind of makes its move, then we can see if there are, opportunities. Pardon me. So we'll see what happens with that. And chances are the opportunities are gonna come. I mean, look, if you're the kind of person who trades the open, then trade the open. But I tend on Monday to wait for that. Tuesday, not so much. Tuesday through Friday, I'm not as concerned. Just depends on what happened overnight. So let's see how many people we got. I don't see anything in the comments. By the way, if you're watching this either after the fact or even during the fact on YouTube, go ahead and give us a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff that all the YouTubers always say to do. That's going to help us out with our YouTube algos. When it comes to Algo Factory, the more the merrier, honestly. So the more people we have, the better our resources are, because our crowd is our resource. When you're with Algo Factory, it's like, what did you say it is, via $1.30 something a day?
$1.66 a day, man, for less than the price of a Frappe Lupa at Starbucks, man.
Frappe Lupa, that sounds like a personal problem.
It can be. It can
you got
be.
A Frappe Lupa, man. I'm sorry. But yeah, so at that price, like, look, here's the thing about it. One of my buddies is in the younger generation, just by a few years, but it's enough. Like so V and I were born in a certain time in history where we are going to resemble more of Gen X than we are millennials. And then the people born like 5 years after this, there's a big change that happened when we were like in high school. And they started giving participation trophies to young kids. That didn't happen for us, but it happened for them. So all the kids that are like 5 years younger, they are very differently minded than we are. Yep. And one of them was complaining about, living standards are high and you can't make money like you used to. And our parents, all I hear now is these people complaining about how the boomers got lucky because they were born into economic. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Quit complaining. Go make some money.
There's
right?
more opportunity to make money now than at any time when the bloody boomers are around. It's late. Look, it's not resources that kill you, folks. It's not lack of resources that kill you. It's lack of resourcefulness that does you in. That's the whole bottom line. There's a million and one ways to make money right now. It's stupid easy to make money right now.
Yeah, it's like, here's what I told them. I said, the hustle only pays the hustler. And the hustle has changed. So it's just one of those things where, if you can't just rely on the way things used to be. The boomers made money this way. Nothing ever continues, right? If you have an easy way to make money where, real estate always goes up. Real estate always goes up. Okay, here's the thing about that. If everybody knows that, everybody's going to buy real estate, and then it's going to go up so far nobody can afford it, and then eventually it's going to come back down. So the thing about hustles is that the hustle is something that it goes away when everybody learns about it, right? So if the hustle changed, you got to find a new hustle. That's all. And if you're not a hustler, you're not going to find it, and you're going to whine. And then I told them that. I said, look, these kids you're talking about, they spend $600 on DoorDash a month and $300 on Starbucks a month. And that guy goes, well, that's one of the few pleasures they have. I'm like, you are such a freaking weenie, dude.
Oh my God, who is this guy?
You don't want to know. It's just, he's a decent fellow all around, relatively intelligent. He's just miseducated, right? He's a good friend of a friend, and he's become a friend, and I'm trying to help him, but he got indoctrinated, And it's just like, I told him, I said, who makes money? It's not whiners. It's not whiners. Whining doesn't pay the bills. Being a hustler pays the bills. And right here at Algo Factory, we have a hustle. So what we do is, if you look at the screen here, you can see these candles. For those of you who are super new to the channel, right? Like, you see these candles on the screen, they're going to go up or down. That's what they're going to do. And what we've developed is a way. First of all, there are ways using mathematics, all that gobbledygook at the bottom of the screen, those lines and squiggly stuff, those are called indicators, right? Now, those indicators can help you identify what are called trends, right? And so either you can bet with the trend, or, and I don't like to use the word bet, but we're talking to the general audience here. You can bet with the trend, you could bet against the trend. Okay. So if you have the ability to predict to a statistical degree of certainty that price is going to head down, right? That these bars are going to go in this direction here, like so, then you can actually predict that, bet on that, and you can make money, right? And if you can predict that they're going to go up, then you can go ahead and bet on that, and you can make money, right? Now, it's not as easy as it sounds. A lot of people think that they can just, oh, this is like going to Vegas and all I have to do is be lucky. Like, no, no, markets are designed to take your money. Okay. So what we do is we are a bit of we help you create your own Rosetta Stone, right? We help you create your own way to decipher what's going to happen with this price. And my own personal story is that I used to trade silver way back when, before I was doing any of this. I mean, I'm talking about, what's today? Like 12, 13 years ago, right? I got family in metals and I bought silver, and I used to trade it on margin. So I was basically borrowing 80% of the money, and then, only putting in 20%. And then if the price went up, I would share in the profit of the entire amount. If the price went down, I would share in the loss, right? So you lose your money 5 times as fast, you win your money 5 times as fast. And I was more betting, let's just use the word trading. I was doing it fundamentally, right? I was thinking, at that point, I started to learn that, look, the great financial crisis had hit, metals were going up as an alternative to money because money was, being inflated and so on and so forth. And so I really started to go down. This is when I first started to wake up, about 2012. And so I was doing that, and I went ahead, I made some money. Actually, my primary bag was bought in the low 20s and sold in the high 20s. It ended up going to like 32 during that time. And once it went up to 32 and started to head down, I went ahead and axed it at about 28. And I think I did pretty well. And I remember back in those days looking at the charts, and it was a simple line chart, not these candles. And I was like, man, there's got to be a way to predict which way price is going to go. There's got to be a way to predict this. I bet you there is. I didn't know jack about technical trading. I thought traders just, I thought all they did was like, oh, well, they know silver's going up because markets, because news, right? I didn't understand that you can use these mathematical indicators at the bottom to help predict when price goes up, right? I mean, look, if you're just to use this one with these little triangles here, this triangle down, triangle up, these basically arrows, if I were to just mark lines on these, you'll notice that price goes down right after that one, right? Price goes up for a little while here. Price goes down after this one. Price goes up for a long time. Make money here. Price goes down. Now you think, oh, well, shoot, I should just trade in the direction that this arrow points. Maybe for this bit on the chart, you can make some money doing that, but that is not always the case. This just happens to be an environment where this works out. And the mistake that people make is thinking they can just simply do that. Okay. And there's more to it. You need to measure, you need to be able to measure how long you want to stay in, because if you are having your stop loss, let's just say that if your loss area, if you're going to exit a trade and it's too close to when you entered, too far away from when you entered compared to like when you're going to exit, meaning if your risk to reward ratio is off balance, you're actually going to lose money. Even if you follow these arrows, you're going to lose money because you are risking more than you are planning to take out of the market. So this is science to it. It doesn't require some kind of degree in finance. It doesn't require high level mathematics. It's not really that hard. It does require that you can read a chart. So you do need to read a chart like this, up, down, left, right. Take a look at these indicators. That kind of skill is there. But pretty much anybody can be taught that. It's not that hard of a thing to teach, and it's what we do. So that's, but my history was that. And then, of course, I got into crypto in early 2017. And I got into it fundamentally. But in doing so, going through YouTube channels, I learned about technical trading. I'm like, oh, well, that's like back, 5-6 years ago, whatever it was. when I thought I could predict the price. And now I understand people are doing this using mathematics, which is what all these lines and arrows are at the bottom of the screen. So we actually help people to learn how to do that. Okay. All right, cool. So let's get into the week. We got Monday today. We had a little bit of Swiss franc news overnight, right? Overnight my time. So if you're in Europe, it was in the morning. And then we have some Australian news later in the day, or I think that's going to be in the morning for down under. We got tomorrow, just before open, we have some job openings and we have manufacturing data. Okay, so there will be some spice into the opening, right? This data here can push price around. And again, being as we kind of addressed the newer people earlier talking about what we do, one thing to understand my own style is I wait until this news comes out, because a lot of times we are baited into thinking that this news is going to push price in one direction, and in reality it goes in another. We lose money. There are people who trade news. I technically do, but I wait until the news is out. And I wait for price to resume direction, and for all the jitters that happen with price, I wait for those to be kind of digested by the market and go away. Some Australian news tomorrow in the evening if you're in the U.S. Again, we have the non-farm employment change. Over the years past, this was big news and it would do a lot of things to markets, but it's not what it used to be. Just the same, it's going to be about 15 minutes before this show starts, and that's on Wednesday. So there's going to be some volatility early morning on Wednesday. So that'll be great, because right as the show is kind of going in to, it's getting into its own, we'll probably see some opportunities in trading. We have the Canadian dollar also having some news. So here's the thing about the news, right? USD tends to affect everything, especially if the US dollar is one of the Forex pairs. It also affects stocks in the US and a lot of things around the world, because everything's traded against the dollar. Something like the Canadian dollar, mostly that's just going to affect Forex markets, maybe the Canadian stock market, things like that. So the big news is always going to be the dollar. But if you're a Forex trader like I am, if you trade sovereign currencies like the dollar versus the euro, whatever, dollar versus yen, then these can have a bit more of a poignant effect. So we got unemployment claims on Thursday, which is a weekly number. That'll add just a quick spice to the market, and then we should be able to trade after that. Friday the 8th, we got a lot of news. We got non-farm employment change again, but it's going to be the more public one. The prior one is actually more of a private look at it, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, you have a lot of things: unemployment rate, hourly earnings. So there's a lot of kind of unemployment rate news, claims, things happening later this week. But this is good. It's in the morning. It's right as market is opening. You're going to have a little bit of volatility at 10 a.m. EST. So look, if you're going to be trading, make sure you got, especially if you're trading currencies, make sure you got your eye on this market right here. Okay. On this rate you're looking at is forexfactor.com. There are supposedly some better solutions, but this one works just fine for me. And that's what I use to look at the news. So, okay, good. We got a pretty quiet crowd on YouTube, and that's usual. We haven't really marketed out. We do our live lab is full though. Our group in Algo Factory in the Telegram is up to its usual capacity of people who watch live, and of course, people are going to check out the video later. If you're part of Algo Factory, what we do is we record these sessions and then I post them for everybody to see, and then they're up for like 5 or 6 months at least. So you'll be able to watch all these videos for quite a while, and then I actually store them on a separate hard drive. So the videos are always, can be dredged up for any member. That's possible. But again, the website over at algofactor.tech, it has our entire university on there. What you need to see is in there. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to questions, whether it be from YouTube, which we only really, our YouTube crowd's small. So, but if anybody in the private or whoever that person is in YouTube, if you guys have questions, you want to see some charts, now is the time to ask. I am going to take a look at Bitcoin because that is where the excitement is right now. Bitcoin has broken 40,000. I don't know if it's still above that, but it broke it last night. And, I've been saying like over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I think, the metrics on Bitcoin have been very bullish, high time frame. Now, a lot of people, including myself, are on what's called the 4-year thesis. And the 4-year thesis is such that every 4 years, there is a Bitcoin halving, and that halving does cause certain patterns in price. The problem with sticking to that thesis is that there are only 4 of these that have ever happened. Actually, 3, I should say, that have ever happened in history. 3 halvings, if I'm not mistaken. It might be 4, but the point is that price right now on a high time frame is bullish, and I don't see any indication on the indicators, right? I don't see the indicators telling me that it's going to stop anytime soon, right? So now it should stop. Right, it should stop based on history. Based on history, you get a good hot November, you get a hot October for sure, but usually it kind of goes down in November. Okay, so that's usually what happens, and then price flattens out. And this is a pre-halving year, so we're only talking about this year as this pattern goes. And then it kind of flattens out, and then it slowly kind of goes up for the first half of the actual halving year. And then once the summer hits, it usually goes off to the races. But right now, if I were just to look at the chart and not have any other data, I'd say it's off to the races already, right? But here's the problem. I got one of the guys I talk with. One of our people in our group named March is with us, and we have a separate group that we've been in for years now. And one of the guys in there is saying, he's like, I am so bullish that I'm bearish.
I'm so bullish. I'm bearish.
That's pretty good.
Oh my God.
That's pretty good. Look, here's the thing about trading, markets, things like this. You got retail and you have non-retail money. So retail is like you and I, people who our net worth is less than 10 million. Like, we're just regular traders, right? They used to call us pikers, back in the day. We have our own personal money. We're just trading markets at home. And then you have institutional money, and that's the big money. Morning, cool cat. So the thing is that, I don't want to talk too much about this because this is more like private data, but what I can say is that this move up there, according to all data points, with the exception of what you see on the charts, according to all data points, this should be not continuing, right? But it very well could. And what I've been saying for weeks now is that look, with most assets, the pattern I'm about to show you usually means that price is going to go down, right? This higher high, higher low trend upwards, right? With most assets, stocks, Forex, everything, just about anything. When you see this happening after like this kind of strong move up that you see before this, I'll mark that out. Like when you see that higher high, higher low after a big move up like this, that usually means that price is losing energy and it's going to fall down. Bitcoin is a different beast altogether. At this point in the market with Bitcoin, you can really expect this to continue up. And I said that the last several weeks, and it's exactly what it did. The gorilla can back me on that. Yeah. So, I've been saying it. And in fact, I bet you if you go back and look at the videos, the live, because these live recordings are recorded, they're on YouTube. You can look at this chart. You'll probably see it on the thumbnail. Oh, no, you won't. I do new thumbnails now. But especially on TikTok, you can see it. But long story short, I called this happening, right? I told everybody the future based on a probabilistic scenario. Like, hey, there's a better probability that this is going to go up out of this pattern than it will go down. That's what I said. That's what it's done. That's free money. I gave everybody free money on YouTube if somebody was trading. Right now, it's not investment advice, but what I did say was that I predict that this chart will do this. And if you chose to do your own research and you chose to take a trade on that based on your own research, that was money, right? All right, cool. So what's going to happen next? Well, we of course don't know. All of the charts indicate the price continues to want to go up. Now, if we have gone through 200 halvings, right? If Bitcoin had been around for 800 years, because that's what it would take, even if we gone through 50 halvings and Bitcoin had been around for 200 years, I could say, hey, this is usually how these go. We've only seen 3 halvings. We only know how it has gone for a very small sample size. That's what that's called. When you go back and you test something, right? You go back, you gather data, you get a sample. Sample size is very small on halvings. So according to the 4-year thesis, though, price should be taking a break, heading down, flattening out. But so far it hasn't done that. And with only 3 halvings in the past, I'm not that surprised. I'm a little surprised, but I'm not, when price broke a certain level, when price broke 38, we all in this at Algo Factory are like, okay, it's probably going to go up, and we have a certain number that it was going to go up to that I'm not going to say here. Somewhere up in this kind of 40,000 range somewhere. Those of you in Algo Factory know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this was predicted, and what may happen next is probably going to be talked about here, not in this video, but we're about pretty soon to hop over to our private group. So what we'll do here now, morning Jam Man, over in the private group, we'll go ahead and take a look at Ethereum, and then we'll go back to Bitcoin with the private group and talk about it. Now, Bitcoin's following Ethereum. Everything's following, I'm sorry, the other way around. Ethereum's following Bitcoin. So, we're looking at that. And what's probably going to happen with altcoins is they're probably going to do well once Ethereum calms down. It may not matter what Ethereum does, but usually Ethereum is going to be the front runner for all of the cryptocurrencies that are not Bitcoin. So what Ethereum does, everything else it does later. Sometimes you get kind of a front runner out there that's going to even beat Ethereum to the punch, right? That may have happened. We can take a look here at the crypto bubbles. LUNC doing well. This is on the day. Luna doing really well. Luna of all things. Ordi, STX, that's been around for a minute. Near that's been around for a minute. Bitcoin Cash still out there plugging along. Let's look at the week. We'll look back a little bit farther. Okay, IOTA, oh my God, all the 2017 coins showing their faces. Algo is in there, Near, Neo. Oh my God, Neo is even a thing still? Dude, FTT? FTT is up 36.9%. Okay, Rune has been really consistent. There's Pepe at 17.6. EGLD been around for a long time. That's another 2017. No, I think EGLD is like a 2020-ish coin. I think that's from the last move up. 2019 area. Doge just been around forever. So these are on the weekly. These are coins that have done well over the week. If you go in the month, you see FTT is like up 300%. So I don't know what's going on with FTX if they're going to try to resurrect it. TIA, that's someone in, I think it might have been Cool Cat that's been talking about TIA. Someone has. I know Cool Cat has, but I don't know who actually brought it up. But TIA has been doing real well, and a lot of guys are looking at that one. Tau AVAX, that is a 2019-ish coin, and AVAX actually has a lot going on. That's one of the companies that might actually be something. KCS, KuCoin. So KuCoin has been doing real well. Now the thing about trading, it depends on where you are in the market. My look is that if something like, look at this screen. Hex has gone down. I wouldn't touch Hex anyway, but RLB, that's one that's gone down recently where everything else is going up, right? For example, Gala that has done really well. I'd be looking at these coins that are actually going down for the most part. And I'd have to qualify them, and I wouldn't automatically buy these, but I would be looking at coins that have gone down where everything else is going up, because there's a decent chance that those are the ones that will have the opportunities, right? So a lot of coins are going down right now, probably, I'm guessing, because Bitcoin is going up so hard that there's just money's leaving these coins for that. Like Link, I'm interested in, and that one has actually lost a little money. ETH DYDX, I think that may have to do with that DEX, which I'm actually rather interested in. Rune has been doing well the whole year. Solana, another one. So I would definitely be kind of watching these ones that have gone down. And when Bitcoin calms down, they're probably going to go up. I got a list for everybody that in the private room, I'm going to share the alts that I like coming up in the next 2 minutes. But for now, Gorilla, could you please go ahead and give us the send off, bro?
Yeah, guys, here's the deal. Follow us over onto the private live chat, right in the live lab. It's so worth it because you're going to get the inside skinny of what the heck's going on globally that affects you locally, that affects the markets, and how you could profit from it. That being said, Cowboy, take us, brother.